¿Qué lo que Knicks fans? Welcome to episode 50 of Knicks fans Wallin. Yes, we made it to episode 50. Man, half a century episode, man. It feels good. Really shout out to my guys, Don Juan and Zebo, who've been rocking out with me. It's hard to stay consistent, just talking ball, but it's easy when you have your guys with you, and this is what we do all day anyways. We talk Knicks all day. So shout out to my guys, and man, and shout out to you listening to this episode, man. Like we really appreciate all of us, the feedback, the banter, the disagreeing, the agreeing. It's really just all fun for us, and I think that's why Knicks fans wildin'. Like we just have fun with it. It's in the name, Knicks fans wildin'. Like that's what we do. We go crazy. So here, as we reach episode 50, I like to take a moment, step back, and thank you guys, the listener. Thank my guys, Don Horn and Zebo, for always joining on the show. But enough of that sentimental stuff. Let's talk basketball. Let's talk New York Knicks. 9-game winning streak came to an end against the Hornets in disappointing fashion, man. There was a lot of good things that happened with this 9-game winning streak. I mean, we picked up a lot of attention. We are the fifth seed now, but man, that loss against the Hornets was disappointing for a lot of reasons that we're gonna talk about. But I gotta introduce the guys first, man. Don Juan, man, tell the people who's really good.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Some nice words, man. Some nice words right there, Triple M. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don Juan in the building. This is Knicks Fans Wild in episode 50, coming out of Off the Ball Network. Check out our guys there. Always putting out some great content. But what a ride has it been with these Knicks, man? 9-game winning streak. We was looking for fourth seed, but a little bump on the road. But hey, we're not gonna win all of them. Not gonna win all of them. So we just gonna keep it pushing. West Coast trip starting tomorrow. Should be fun, and I can't wait. Let's get this show on the
Yes,
road.
yes, sir, man. And we gotta bring in six man Zebo in the building, man. I mean, this guy, he just stepping into the starting lineup like quickly did.
My guys was good, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Not all, it's crazy because last week I said 4-0, and Don Juan obviously had the good, he had the great week 3-1, but it's crazy because out of all four games, for them to lose this one is just crazy because especially with especially off that Miami and Boston game, but it's cool though. Vibes are still immaculate, so can't
Yeah.
complain, man.
Do the thing for Keith, man. Rub that,
Yeah,
rub
let me.
your
Yeah,
hand.
I
Yeah,
didn't even.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we still wavy right now. We still good, man.
You
Hey,
still waving,
hey,
man.
before
Shout
we
out
get
to
it
Keith.
off, make sure to like and subscribe, man. Make sure to give us that thumbs up. It'll be appreciated, real
Yes,
appreciated. Come
sir.
on,
Yes,
man.
Yes,
sir.
Give
sir.
them thumbs up.
Hey, we need 50 likes for this episode in honor of 50 episodes. So
For
make
real,
it
come on.
happen, people. Make it happen. But let's go right into this Knicks versus Hornets game. Knicks lose 112 to 105, man. And I'll go first, man. I'll give my thoughts to this game because Knicks Twitter, obviously, always Knicks Instagram everywhere. There was on one today. The Tom Thibodeau hive, fire Tom Thibodeau hive came out again. The Julius Randle's trash, they came out again in full force, And listen, I feel like I feel me definitely personally. I feel like if you feel that way, cool. Like I'm not no one. I'm not fan police or anything. Look, you have every right to be. The Knicks are in a playoff battle right now, and yeah, they lost in double. They won in double overtime on Sunday to the Celtics. But you just gotta take care of business to the Hornets, man. I mean, that team has 20. They had 21, 20 wins. Now they got 21. You look at these players, and I was looking at Thor. He was out there just lasering threes. They had some guy named Richards. I mean, these are guys. I play fantasy basketball, and I was having trouble knowing who these guys were. That they're just irrelevant. So you look at the Knicks, Julius Randle, Emmanuel Quickly, they combined to shoot 5 for 19 from 3 pointers. I mean, these guys, they were being complacent and they was letting it fly. They were not attacking the rim. Julius Randle usually comes out firing in the first quarter. He was just very chill. He hit that first 3 pointer of the game and he was chilling. after that. So I check it up to definitely tired legs. I think we can all agree to that. Tired legs. The guy's not having it. Everybody talked about it, but I really liked what Josh Hart said when he said that. Listen, people get up to work at 6 in the morning. They work 12-hour shifts. We just play the game of basketball, and the Knicks, they had to take care of business against the Hornets. Unfortunately, they didn't. So I want to get you guys' thoughts about this game, man. Are you really disappointed, or are you chucking it up as a bad L, Don Juan? I want to start with you.
Well, look, man. Obviously, going into we when we were making our predictions, we kind of said, this is some game that we just gonna count it as a dub, put it on our record, yeah, as a W. But realistically, in the NBA, you got to get up and play the game regardless of who the competition is. And the Hornets, regardless of their record, they went out there and they beat us fair and square. No refs, no nothing. Knicks just play bad, plain and simple. And I like I said before, I expected this to be an easy dub, but from coming back, I never pictured us to also come back and beat the Heat off of crazy dub, in Miami. Who knows what happened after that game? There probably was a long night. Double overtime against the Celtics. Mind you, we already been on a crazy run where these guys are playing all out, grinding great basketball. You already know Tibbs, no matter if it's a blowout, playing our guys 30 some, 40 some minutes, don't matter the outcome. So we gotta at least give them a little pass. Like, look, we're not gonna win them all. Unfortunately, it was against the Hornets, so people are gonna talk, considering the record. But the Bucks also, let's say the Bucks, number one seed in the East, also lost to the Hornets before two this season. At the time, they had 11 wins, so it's like people, good teams are gonna lose to bad teams. It's gonna be one night. Just gotta chalk it up. It is what it is. The only thing is, this is one of those games that maybe I would have preferred to see a couple of the young guys play, considering a lot of our core players played a lot of minutes recently. So it's just get guys like Obi, get guys like McBride, high energy players. Realistically, the Hornets, they're not that good right now. So they've been playing a lot of their young guys too. A lot of LaMelo out. They're pretty much tanking the season away. So get guys that need some reps right now that could benefit from these reps. But it is Coach Tibbs, so we can't expect any different. But what I was gonna say, look, which I didn't say last week, something I would have said, but coming off of that high from the Knicks Celtics last week, there wasn't no way to talk negative. I felt like we couldn't say nothing. But this week, especially yesterday, we saw some free throw misses. That 9 game win streak that we had, we saw a lot of free throw misses. Knicks was shooting 70 some percent, 73, 72% from the free throw line. We can't be missing free throws, man. I'm not gonna be too concerned about it right now, but we need to start hitting our free throws. We are off the high of a 9 game win streak, but we need to start hitting our free throws, man. We need to start hitting our free throws. We missed 6 yesterday. We lost by 7, but making some of those could have changed the course of the game, man. I'm not gonna go crazy, but we need to start hitting our free throws.
Nah, yeah, bro. I agree with you. I agree with you definitely. But listen, the Hornets adjusted in the second half, and they outscored the Knicks 62-39. I
Yeah,
mean, you're just not gonna win game like that. And shout out to the Hornets for adjusting. Uh, but it was just a disappointing effort, man. The Knicks just did not have it, bro. I mean, you just shoot disgustingly from three, and this how the saying goes: live by three, die by three, and that's how the Knicks played. But Zebo, I want to get to you, man. Talk to
Yeah.
me about that Hornets Knicks loss. How you feeling?
So Nah, yes, it's crazy. So if you were to ask me this question like 2 months, like 2 months ago when we was a 500 team, I would have said, yeah, whatever. It's a trap game. Like, our guys were exhausted from the previous game. Obviously, quickly playing 50 minutes. Randall, essentially, almost played the whole game. So I would have said, yeah, whatever. We'll go ahead and throw go ahead and throw that game away. But because obviously this team has exceeded our expectations, and now our expectations of this team is higher. It's like Josh Hart said, like at this point, there's just no excuse. Like even without Jalen Brunson, this should definitely be a team that we should be beating. And I think that obviously, you know, I mean, obviously, we spoke about this. Julius Randle, he did look exhausted in the podium after that game, but that's still no excuse. Like, you're the second best player on this team, and you're one of the best players in the Eastern Conference. And so, if you don't have it that night, again, one thing that the good players do, one thing that the great players do is that even during exhaustion or even when their shot isn't going, they're finding other ways to win, to win the game. And so and I expect that from all of our players is that if they are exhausted, like we need to find other ways to try to go ahead and try to pull this game through. And I'm not only talking about the players, I'm talking about the coaching staff too. Like, you're absolutely right, Don Juan. Like, I definitely would have liked to see Obi play more minutes, especially with all the minutes Julius played. I would have definitely loved to see McBride or, man, even a Derrick Rose signing. I would have loved to see for at least for at least a few minutes. Because, man, when you have Quickly, and again, Quickly's been playing great. He's been consistent this season. But when you have a man that legit played 52 minutes, you need to find him a little bit more rest during the game. And so all around, man, this is definitely a win that I wanted, not only because of the 4-0, but because one thing I definitely did preach about is for the second half of the season that I wanted to see consistency. Because one thing you do see about the elite teams, especially around this time, is that they pacing themselves. Because once they get to the playoffs, and we expect this team to be in the playoffs, one thing about elite teams is that they pacing themselves right now, and in the playoffs is when they get to that second gear. And so that's one thing I want to see from this team moving forward. I want to start seeing consistency. I don't like these, I don't like these second half or these first half where they just start extremely slow. Like, I definitely want to start seeing consistency from this team and consistency from the coaching staff balancing out the minutes.
Oh my God, Zebo with one of his
Yeah.
most fire takes ever, coming
Yeah.
at his guy Julius Randle, coming at
Yeah.
his guy Coach Tom Thibodeau, bro. That was some fire takes right
It's a
there.
little
I had to put you
surprising.
on the solo. I
A
had to
little
put you because
Good
you was
surprising.
going
looking, good
crazy.
looking.
You was going crazy with
Nah, it's
that
true,
take, bro.
bro.
That
Nah,
no, it's
nah,
definitely true because look at now. Brooklyn is one game behind us, and it's crunch time. It's crunch time. So everybody got to lock in. Everybody got to step in because this 9 games winning streak was amazing. We loved it. Obviously, we can't win every game in the NBA, but we got to beat the Charlotte Hornets because we play the Houston Rockets again. We
it's a
play the
fact.
Indiana Pacers again. These are games that we have to win, and we can't just check it up like, oh no, they was tired leg. I mean, everybody's tired, everybody's nicked up, so you
Nah,
just hope that
exactly.
they lock in and they figure it out. But at one point that none of you guys made that I wanted to make, RJ Barrett had a great first half. He had a very good first half. The second half they started double teaming him, and like nobody stepped up. So this is one of those rare games where you've seen RJ kind of step up. Um, and this is kind of worrisome to me because you see this RJ when either Brunson is not, well, Randall don't miss games, but when Brunson is missing games, you see this RJ come out. So these guys got to figure it out how to find that balance, because RJ, he looked good yesterday. Like, especially when he was attacking the paint, he had his head up. He was finding his open teammates.
Nah,
That's
nah,
something that we critique about RJ a lot. He got that
nah.
tunnel vision. But yesterday he's really liking that pick and roll with Mitchell Robinson. That I find that very encouraging. But he's just not getting that pass sometimes. Like he's just not hitting it sometimes, which is frustrating because he hits it occasionally, and it's like, bro, just keep doing the
Hmm.
same thing. Like, why you keep doing the
It's a
wrong
fact.
path? But shout out to Mitch coming back, man. That's huge for RJ. They get in that ESP with the pick and roll. But yeah, Zebo, like you said, man, I feel like this is a game where we needed the energy from Obi. We needed the energy from McBride. But I mean, a lot of people were saying today like they should have closed with Obi. They should have closed with McBride, because the guys was tired. But listen, Julius Randle is our all star. You got to
Yeah.
give him the benefit of the doubt to lock in and kind of push forward and try to get this win. And unfortunately, they
Yeah.
didn't. And
Not
Obi and McBride weren't exactly lighting it up either. McBride had a nice game. He had 7 points and 2 assists in 13 minutes. Obi, 3 points. But these guys, Obi
Now
was
on the stat sheet, they it wasn't gonna show you what they did, but there was a
Like,
moment where we were down one, and then with them playing, they got us a lead. So like an eight point,
I mean,
seven
yeah,
Obi
point
was
lead.
plus 13. I'm looking at it right now. McBride was plus 8. I mean, it could
And
have been
just
a
for
game
and when
that
you're
we
playing
ain't gonna.
13 minutes, there's only so much you could do. So
Yeah,
at
exactly.
least
Yeah,
15 to between 15 20 minutes, it could be a
right.
little bit different, especially when you consider that Gordon Hayward, Rozier, they both went off. Oubre made some clutch buckets. So it's like we definitely could have used a defensive stopper. Not saying
Yeah,
McBride would have stopped any Hayward or Oubre, but at least a Rozier who was also dropping some buckets.
yeah. Now it would have
yeah,
definitely made a difference, man, for sure.
and this is what we talk about with Tibbs when it comes to the playoffs, where you guys are getting scouted 24/7. Like, is he gonna adjust? You
Hmm.
know, that's Thibodeau. I'm not gonna bash. I mean, we can bash Thibodeau like we did right now, because he just didn't adjust. But you look at Sunday when they beat the Celtics, he let quickly ride. He saw that McBride was not having it, and he just let quickly ride all that time, and he Emmanuel quickly was balling on Sunday night, fellas.
Yeah.
We gotta mention that, man.
Yo,
Emmanuel
shout out to
quickly
my guy.
38
Yeah,
points, career high, man. That was a special game for Quick. But you saw Tibbs adjust there, but then you didn't see him adjust against the Hornets. So that's just kind of the ebb and flow, and
yeah,
the Tom Thibodeau fire high. They're gonna always be there, and it's hard to blame them when you see a game like yesterday. I mean, Julius, he just did not look like he was.
They
He looked
just
like he wanted just to be in his crib sleeping.
Yeah, they just waiting for the
yeah.
downfall, man. They
They
just
Yeah,
waiting
were.
for the
man, they waited for
downfall.
the downfall. And listen, man, they can get it quick. They can get it quick. So, listen, fellas, just to wrap this up, we just gotta chuck it up as a day in the NBA, man. They go from their biggest win of the season on Sunday to one of their worst loss in about 2 3 months
Yeah.
on Tuesday. I mean, that's just the NBA, but you can't harp on that because listen, we got the Sacramento Kings. Depending when you listen to this episode, we got the Sacramento Kings coming up. So
Hmm.
this is just how the NBA rolls, man, and they got to come up because now they out west, they out west. So just let's shift gears right into that as we talking about this West Coast trip, fellas. The Knicks go out west to play the Kings on Thursday, the Clippers on Saturday, the Lakers on Sunday, and the Blazers on Tuesday, man. I mentioned it earlier. Brooklyn is on our heel. We are have a 1 game lead on Brooklyn for that 6 seed. So this is a big road trip.
It's getting
15
pretty
games left
tight.
in the season, and the games are not getting easier. So, fellas, I want you guys to give me one game that you're looking forward to as the biggest matchup in this West Coast trip. Kings, Clippers, Lakers, Blazers. Zebo, I'm
Oof.
gonna start with you, man. Give me what game you looking forward to the most and why.
So for me, and I know it's going to be a little bit of a, especially because this team, obviously, they don't got their number one player, but I'm going to say the Lakers, man, because, man, prime time Sunday, 9 p.m. start, man, that, for us to, I love when other people get to see exactly what's going on with the Knicks because I feel like, people outside of New York, they're not really necessarily like talking about what's really going on here. So for us to get that primetime slate, and especially against the Lakers, regardless if it's without LeBron, man, I can't wait for us to dog. And again, look at what we did. Look at what we did last Sunday on primetime, man. That was a great. Honestly, I think that was the great. I think that was the best game. Honestly, I've seen on ESPN this season. So, I definitely want to see. I definitely want to see the same. And and listen, man, AD's been. Shout out to AD. He's been balling right now. So. And so that's definitely going to be a good match of him versus Randall, and Mitchell Robinson, obviously he's going to get time against him too. So that's definitely going to be a good matchup. So yeah, I'm going to say the Lakers.
Mm.
Yep.
It's a
Yeah,
good
man.
one.
And listen, the Lakers, they came into Madison Square Garden and they beat us. They beat us on our home court. It was a fun game. Did that game go to overtime? If I'm not mistaken,
I think so. I'm not
it
sure.
went to overtime or we lost like late in the game. Um,
I think so.
LeBron James, doing his LeBron James thing. They rested the night before. So he came to the Garden well rested.
Typical
Oh yeah, because
LeBron.
they
Yeah, I
play.
think
Oh
he
yeah, because they
rested for
played
the
the Nets,
Brooklyn
right?
game.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
He
so
rested for
listen, we got
Brooklyn.
a game without LeBron James. Anthony Davis is playing out his mind, but this is why we paid Mitchell Robinson. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
OT.
exactly why we paid Mitchell Robinson, and that's just gonna be a tough matchup. But I like that battle for us. I like that battle for us because we're a problem for the Lakers, who our defense is really not that good, and they're down LeBron James, so that's a test that we have to take care of. So
For sure.
great matchup, Zebo. But Don Juan, I'm gonna kick it to you now, man.
All right.
West
So
Coast
what
trip, who you looking at?
West Coast trip that I have circled here is actually a team that we've beaten already early on in the season, Sacramento Kings,
Hmm.
who some could say are probably the biggest surprise in the league right now. I mean, nobody really expected them to be the top of the West. Well, one of the top teams in the West, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday I checked, a couple of days ago I checked, they were third. Today they're second in the West, which is pretty remarkable. I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, if you want to see where your team stands, you got to play the top, and the Kings are that, man. And the Kings have one of the best offense this year, and not too long ago they scored 176, double overtime, granted, but 176 points is a lot of points, man. And there's a team that is a great home team, has a good fan base, especially now that they're winning games. Their fans are showing out, buying tickets. So it'd be nice to see the team that has a good record at home, hold their own, top offense. How it's gonna show us where we stand. Can we stop a team like that? One of the stats that always stand out with the Knicks is, how they win when they keep teams under 110. It's a high-powered offensive team. Can the Knicks keep them under 110 and get a dub? It's gonna be hard, but I can see a possibility. Maybe not 110, maybe 120, but we're gonna score 140 because their defense isn't that good. But at the end of the day, we gotta compete with that team. And if I'm not mistaken, early on when we faced them, they were missing De'Aaron Fox. So having a full squad this time around could be different. So let's see. Hopefully this doesn't start a losing streak. You know how these Knicks could be a little streaky, but yeah, the Kings is the one that I got circled.
Nah, yeah, great points. All around Don Juan as far as it's a primetime game as well. Like Zebo mentioned, this is on TNT, the late night matchup, and the Kings been home. They've been chilling. I was looking at their calendar earlier this year. They've been home for like a week. De'Aaron Fox missed a few games, but he's already
Well rested.
well rested here. They already said he's gonna play tomorrow, so they're second in the West. And this is coming off a bad Hornets loss that has a bad taste on the Knicks' mouth. This is gonna be a matchup. This is gonna be a battle, and we beat them earlier this season without the Aaron Fox. So they're gonna come. They're gonna be. They're trying to stay at that number two seed in the West. So this is gonna be a real tough matchup,
Yeah,
and a matchup that the Knicks, man, just can't lose. You just have to. We can't afford to lose games right now. We gotta keep. We If we're gonna make noise in the playoffs, we gotta stay at this fifth, fourth seed. So
yeah,
every game is super important, and this West Coast trip is
yeah.
no different,
And
man.
let's hope
You know,
Jalen Brunson comes back too, because
Yeah, we need
we're missing a pretty big piece of our team right there in Jalen Brunson. Although I felt like he was gonna miss that Hornets game, being that it was the Hornets, give him a little extra rest, another day off, being that he has been playing a heavy load of minutes and dealing with a sore foot, sore ankle
Yeah,
there.
so left foot. Those left
So
foots are worrisome, man. They're nagging. They're nagging
mhm.
injuries, and you don't want that to linger into the
Yeah, and
end of
there's
the
a
season and
and
playoffs.
Brunson is a guy that's always risking his body, whether is making tough drives against big guys. He's also taking a lot of charges here and there throughout the game. So it's definitely something to be worried about, especially now coming into March and going into the playoffs.
Nah,
you
yeah.
know, you know who's excited for that matchup though? Julius Randle's excited for that, man.
Mm.
He love facing Sabonis. So
Facts.
I'm expecting a 30, 10, and 5 game. So let's see what
Ooh,
happens.
Okay.
bet the
Let's
over.
bet that over, right?
Bet
Let's
that
bet that
over.
over.
Julius Randle, when he sees a bonus, I don't know what it is, but it's barbecue
Yo,
chicken for that boy. Is that he
yo,
just
I don't know what it
he just
is.
killing Sabonis every game. I just don't know what it is. I think he has a vendetta against Sabonis. I don't know. He just does not like seeing that guy on the other side of the court, man. So yeah, I'm expecting a huge game from Julius Randle on Thursday for sure. Because of that's a bonus factor. And last time he went to Sacramento, I think he had his career high of 46, or tied it. He already tied it again. So I'm expecting a big game from Randall. So we'll see, man. But for me, fellas, the game I did not mention, that Clippers game is gonna be big. Um, they beat us at home in overtime. It took a Batum three at the buzzer, and that was one of the worst Knicks losses this season, with the Kings game and probably with this Hornets game. But for me, I'm gonna go to Portland. I'm gonna go to Portland because I mean Damian Lillard is balling, and that's just gonna be a tough matchup for us because we struggle against guys that of that caliber, MVP level. We saw Luca have 60, 20, and what was it, 10 on us. Like he just cooked us. So that matchup is gonna be tough with Damian Lillard. And fellas, let's not forget Cam Reddish. I know Cam Reddish got that game circled
Ooh,
on his
revenge game.
and he might try to go out for 40 against Tom Thibodeau, who hated on him. And
Revenge
he's been
game.
playing okay. He's been playing okay. Uh, Nick's Twitter loves reminding us Cam Reddish stats because the Cam Hive is still popping. Listen, I don't know who Nick's Twitter is going to be rooting for, the Knicks or Cam Reddish that game. I mean, you might be seeing a 50-50 timeline that night. You feel me? So it's going to be tough. Cam Reddish, I feel like he's going to play well because Anthony Simons is out. I'm not sure if he'll be out that game, but he's been starting. And Chauncey Billups, he's been putting him in a good position. I think he's averaging like 16, 17 points for the Blazers. So, and the Blazers are trying to get into that play-in. I mean, time is ticking with Dame Dollars. He keeps being loyal. He keeps saying I'm still there, but listen, like he's gonna wanna every time every season that they're not winning, it's tough. And listen, they traded Josh Hart, so Josh Hart gets his revenge game against Portland.
Mm.
So there's a lot of storylines that game, fellas.
yeah.
Last game of the road trip, Josh
Sure.
Hart goes back to Portland. Chauncey Billups called Josh Hart the heart and soul of that team prior to, and he's already showing that with the Knicks. I talked about it in the beginning of the show where he said that powerful quote where it's like, man, everybody works. Everybody's tired. So let's get it. We can't be tired. Like, we can't use that as an excuse. So there's a lot of storylines that game. So I'm really excited to see that game. Last game of the road trip. So we'll see where the Knicks are. They could be 3-0, they could be 0-3, 1-2, whatever. So it's just gonna be there's gonna be a lot of storyline for that game. So that's the game I'm most looking forward to see. And Grant came into Madison Square Garden and scored his career high 44 points on us in Madison Square Garden. So I'm expecting the Knicks to lock in. That was the
Hmm.
old Knicks back in November. This is the new
Different
Knicks
team, different team. But we
team.
lost. We lost that game.
We lost that game too, so we got to get a revenge. So I'm really looking forward to that Portland game. I'll be really excited for that Portland game, man. So we'll see how we do out west, man. But we need a good showing because Brooklyn is right there. Miami is they still there. We still have two games against Miami, so we
Hmm.
can't forget Miami. So it
Nah,
is
it's a fact.
it's gonna be
Nah,
tough, fellas. It's gonna be tough, but let's keep it moving, man, and talk about this ESPN thing that I wanted to touch on real quick with you guys, where they said this is the best Knicks team since 2013, and Kendrick Perkins. I'm gonna show you the clip and then we'll react to it.
Is this the best Knicks squad
Yeah.
we've seen since?
I would have to go all the way to the Ewing days, and I'm not over exaggerating because here's the thing: they have a foundation. And I'm not talking about the one that's asking for donations. I'm talking about the one that actually have a culture and an identity. And that's what they have. We know what Julius Randle and Bronson and Quickly are going to bring on the offensive end. And we know how Tibbs has adjusted his coaching style. But here's the thing about the New York Knicks. They have a defensive culture and presence. When I look at Mitchell Robinson and how he anchors that defense and is grabbing every rebound and challenging every shot. When I look at the backcourt and Josh Hart and Bronson and even Quickly at times, like they're not afraid of embarrassment. And when you have a team that's not afraid to get up into you, not afraid to be on the highlight, you're dealing with a problem if you have to force a play the Knicks.
Kendrick Perkins, man, I think he works for like the Knicks because he's been showing a lot of praise
A
lately.
lot of love. Dolan cutting the check over there.
Only cutting the check on ESPN for Perkins because Stephen A is wilding out there. But listen, he said the Ewing days. He just flat out forgot about the Knicks tape, Knicks 2013 Knicks. That's kind of disrespectful, but I gotta ask you guys, man. Do you think this is the best Knicks since the Ewing days? Don't know. What you thinking?
Well, one thing I would say is a bit disrespectful that there was no Knicks tape mentioned at all in that panel, at all. So again, with the continuous slander of Carmelo Anthony by not even saying a word about him as well. But I think honestly, the 2013 team, 2012-2013 team was better. You know, it was a team full of seasoned vets, led by Carmelo Anthony. Man had a scoring title that year. Got your man J.R. Smith, sixth man of the year. Tyson Chandler was killing. We're not talking about playoffs. We're just talking about the team as a whole, not even them just disappearing in the playoffs and how it played out. But the fact that we was competing with the Heat, we won 52 or 54 games. I mean, 13-game winning streak. Some people might use the 9-game winning streak that the Knicks are on just to pretty much separate them from any other Knicks team besides the Ewing days. But I mean, the Knicks team where Melo had a 13-game winning streak, and that's beast. And you know, there was a lot of good teams out there too at the time. The Knicks, I think it was like I said, seasoned vets, and just like it was just a team ready to compete. Whereas now it's still a bunch of young guys trying to still figure themselves out. I think that with this team right now, they will get out coached, but also just out coached with the coach, but also out coached on the floor. You got Jason Kidd. You got a bunch of guys that know the game that could teach us. Maybe J Kidd ain't you can't see it with J Kidd now as a coach, but on the floor when he was playing, he really changed this team. He really elevated the Knicks to a whole nother level. Granted, he wasn't making too much plays by dribbling or shooting too much, but the man was really moving the ball and being a catalyst on that team, which I think that something that will be useful against, let's say, if we put them head to head. So I think the 2013 team is better. I wouldn't say a lot better, but it's better nonetheless.
Yeah, man. Let's put some respect on that Knicks tape team for sure. That was pretty fun. Zebo, what you thinking, man?
Listen, man, I'm gonna make this short, man. Listen, as much as I love this team right now, and listen, man, you're not gonna find a bigger Julius Randle supporter than me. But listen, man, no one on this team is a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. I don't think Julius Randle is gonna be a Hall of Famer. Jalen Brunson, we'll see what happens, but for right now, he's not a Hall of Famer to me. Melo is a Melo's first ballot Hall of Famer. Like Melo, listen, man. Obviously that game six did have a really bad taste in my mouth, but me and Triple M talked about, we talked about that game six, and then I was just, I went ahead and reviewed that back, and Melo dropped 39 on that game six. Like Melo was getting buckets, man, and just thinking about 2013, man, I had so many, and obviously looking at it now because LeBron is obviously top one. Like we know he's the greatest player, one of the greatest players. But man, I used to really argue with people the fact that Melo was really better than LeBron. And honestly, you had a little bit of I ain't gonna lie, you had a little bit of an argument there because obviously he was. Listen, man, Melo was a bucket, man. Like there was games where I was just like, come on, man. Like it's like it was a wrap, man. Like yo, come on, nah. It's there's just no. Listen, man. Just the fact that you do have a Hall of man, we had one of the top five players in the league confirmed. So nah, just the fact that we had a Hall of Famer, yeah, I'm not taking nothing from that.
Yeah, Don Juan mentioned that we won 13 games in a row. And listen, we beat Miami 4 times that year. You know, the best team in the East, we beat them 4 times. So we felt really good going into the playoffs. Like, yo, we see Miami, we taking them out. And we had second
Yo,
of the year, JR. Tyson Chandler. I'm not sure if he won Defensive Player of the Year that season, but he revolutionized the game with the tip back rebound, and that was
Nice.
crazy.
Yo,
Um,
Melo gave Miami 50 off straight jump shot, like
yeah,
legit off straight jump shots. He gave
I
Miami
see that
50. Now
video all the
it
time.
wasn't LeBron. Yo, come on, man. Nah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to beat that team because you had Carmelo Anthony, who you guys highlighted it, first ballot Hall of Famer, you know, top five in the league at that time. So it's hard to top that team. But listen, I'm gonna disagree with you guys because I really like this team. Because listen, this team every night they're gonna battle, and no disrespect to Jason Kidd, Kenny Martin, Kurt Thomas, Rasheed Wallace. Those are OGs. They was in there. They was grinding with us. They get the Knicks tape. Rasheed came with the three to the dome. That started that year, you know. So everything was lit. But these guys was old, man. They broke down. Kurt Thomas broke his foot. Rasheed Wallace was a non-factor. Kenyon Martin was a non-factor. Jason Kidd was done by
Yeah,
then.
Marcus Camby on that team too.
It was all done. By the time the playoffs came, it was done. Like they was tired. They was not with it no more. But this team, they're getting better with time. You saw Emmanuel quickly last game go out and play 55 minutes, and I felt like in the second overtime he had more energy. And you got Mitchell Robinson really becoming this defensive anchor, you know, in the middle. RJ Barrett, you know that's my guy. He has a lot of inconsistencies, but he's 22 years old, and sometimes you look at his game and you're like, man, if this guy figures it out, the Knicks are going just to skyrocket, you know. And Jalen Brunson, dog, haven't had a point guard since the Patrick Ewing days. You know, our point guard that year was Jason Kidd, I think Raymond
Raymond Felton.
Raymond Felton.
but Jalen Brunson, this is a point guard. This is a point guard averaging 20 plus a game, 6+ assists. We've seen 40-point outbursts. Um, you know, Julius Randle, our all-star, just bouncing back from last year where a lot of people gave up on him, me included. This year he's just balling, man. He's just balling. You saw that shot against Miami the other night. Um, I just like this team better because you could see that this is sustainable. You know, that year you kind of was like, damn, if they don't win this year, it's over, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
it was
that's
that year, and it was clipped for them after that. So this year,
literally.
like, I like this team better because listen, we're gonna lose eventually, but you can see that this team has a foundation that's gonna keep improving. And I'm just having more fun this year. I'm just having more fun this year because a lot of people doubted us. A lot. We was projected to win 39 and a half games. We should get that soon. We should, if not, we should get that soon. You know, a lot of people thought that Knicks team would be good. You know, with
Yeah.
Stoudemire there, with Tyson there, with Melo there. So the Knicks were already like, all right, this is a top four team, man. And they won 54 games and they showed up.
I
But
mean, now that you mentioned the whole doubting part, I mean that definitely adds to the fun. But man, Nick's tape was fun, man. You
no,
got
Knicks
Steve
tape was fun.
Novak. There
I
was a lot of fun. It was very fun. I mean, I felt like we were destined to win the championship. Like there was championship aspirations with that team.
Yeah,
But
Realistically,
nah,
but
listen, if you listen in the ESPN this the recently, that they're saying the same about this team, not championship, but they might win the first round. And if we play Boston, who we just beat twice in the second round, I mean, I'm not on that train yet, but people
But
are
you
talking.
know you're not
Hey, people are saying stuff, man. And it's crazy because we talked about it this whole show. The NBA, you got to play the games. You
That's
have
a
to play
fact.
the
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
and you just never know what could happen.
yeah.
Injuries. You don't. We don't hope injuries. We don't wish injuries on nobody, but injuries can happen. Anything can happen. And that's why we play these games. But listen, I'm having a lot of fun this year. Uh,
Hmm.
we
And the
talking Knicks.
trajectory,
We
like,
talking Knicks all the time, so we've kind of been on this roller coaster all year, and it's fun to see, fun to rewatch shows where I'm saying stuff
facts.
that completely is nonsense now, and I'm just having more fun this year because I think, like I said, the trajectory of this team is way better than
Yeah,
that team, and that just gives you more hope, more ammo. Listen, we don't have a Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony or a top five player in Carmelo Anthony, but we have a team full of hungry, gritty players that they're listen. The Knicks are gonna lose a series in the playoffs, obviously, but it's not gonna be easy. It's
yeah,
not gonna be easy. That team is gonna be that team, whoever beats us, they're gonna be exhausted going into the next round. Like,
yeah.
damn,
They
we
might
had
lose
to
the next round.
battle against this team.
It's a fact.
We had to straight out battle against this team. We had to go into Madison Square Garden and just
They go battle
beat
with us,
out
the
that.
fans. They go battle with the fans too. We gonna make sure it goes to 12 rounds. Make sure to keep the spirits up,
Yeah,
keep
man.
those players going. I mean, I
It's a
can't wait.
fact.
But we still need to,
Yeah,
there's still
yeah.
a lot of
Let's
time
not
left.
jump
We
out
got
the
this
gun.
West
I mean,
Coast trip, man. We
that
getting
video got
excited
me hyped.
already.
That video got
Envisioning
me hyped.
playoffs, man.
That video got me hyped, fellas. That video got me hyped. So let's
Oh
let's let's go.
man.
Let's reel back in. Let's reel back in. Talk about this West Coast trip. You already know I gave up predicting records, but you guys still predicting records. Don Juan won last week. He predicted the 4-1 record.
3-1,
Zebo
3-1.
3-1
3-1.
record. Zebo, you was a little off, but whatever. We rock. You got the wrong game that we lost off. So listen, fellas, four more games this week, all on the road. Kings, Clippers, Lakers, Blazers. Very quick, give me that record prediction. Zebo, what's good? What you got to say?
Listen, man, I'm gonna go a little conservative this week. I'm gonna go 2-2. I think we're gonna win that Lakers game. I think we'll take the Kings game. The Portland game and the Clippers game are the ones that scared me a little bit. I know we didn't talk too much about the Clippers. I don't we didn't talk too much about the Clippers, but man, they got for I think for sure because they getting a few days rest before they play us. So we getting Kawhi and Paul George. So one thing about this West Coast trip, and you spoke about it, Triple M. We gonna be facing a lot of elite players. So it's gonna be a good test. So yeah, the Clippers and Portland want to scare me. So 2-2.
Mm.
Nah, going conservative. I haven't seen you going
A
conservative
little,
in
a
a
little
while, man.
conservative, man. What's going on
Yeah,
here, man?
yeah, nah, man, that West Coast trip. Even though we're great on the road, I'm gonna hold it down for now because, again,
What you got to say
I
about
just
this
wanted to feel
West Coast?
good, man.
My guy
So,
been a 4-0 king for a minute now.
Yeah, yeah.
Sheesh. But hey, I hear that. I mean, I don't blame you. West Coast trip, it could change a lot of things, man. And a lot of those teams out there are playing good, some good basketball. For me, I was thinking 2-2 as well, man. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go 3-1. 3-1. I'm not gonna lie, man. Uh that Kings game is scaring me, but the Clippers, man, they've been playing some terrible basketball. They got Russell Westbrook out there who still can't buy a bucket. Lakers, they missing LeBron. That's gonna be a dub, and the Blazers are spiraling the wrong way. I'm sorry, Dame. You definitely gotta say, I don't want to be here no more. I know it's gonna be hard, man, but you deserve a ring. You deserve a shot, at least a shot to get a ring. So, 3-1. Let's get it. Hopefully 4-0, but 3-1 is what I'm gonna go with. Let's go. Let's roll the dice one more time and go 3-1, fellas.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take 3-1 over 2-2, bro. I think we just gotta come back home in one piece, still as the fifth seed in the East. That's what I'm hoping for, man. Just to come home in one piece, still fifth seed in the East, because a game that we are gonna talk about before, but they play the Nuggets at home on that first game back. So that's not
It's
an
a
easy.
matinee. I think it's
It's
at
not at
12.
all the matinee, man. We just don't do good with matinees. We don't do good at matinees at the Garden, man. They get
Let's
pretty
see. Hold on. Let
nasty.
me make
So
sure.
that's a tough 5 games coming up, man. If the Knicks go 0-5, it's like dang, like that's not good. That's just killing the 9-game winning streak vibes. Twitter and Instagram is gonna be toxic as heck. We already know the vibes there. So let's just lock in, man. Hopefully we go 2-2. I mean, hopefully we go three and
Yeah,
one.
nah, nah,
Mhm.
yeah. Honestly, bro, to a 2-2 record, I think that keeps us. I think that keeps us right there in that fifth. Like, if we go 2-2, I'll be satisfied. Like that,
Nah,
like that
yeah,
keep. I
that's
think
what I
that still.
said.
I
Oh,
think
you
that
can't.
still.
You
I
you
think
have
that
to.
still
Yeah.
keeps us on that fifth. Yeah, that still keeps us in the fifth seed. I feel like if we, man, if we go 4-0, 3-1, then I think we're still on the hump of that fourth seed. But I think 2-2
Listen, we
keeps
gotta
us within
keep
that
we
fifth
gotta
seed.
keep the vibes immaculate. We gotta keep the vibes immaculate. And
That's
how
a
you keep it
fact.
immaculate? By going 3-1. So on that note, Don Juan, 3-1, get us out of here, man. What you gotta say?
Yeah, man. If you guys haven't, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And 3-1 gets you paid. So I'm gonna make a little bet. 3-1, some way, somehow. I gotta get the 3-1 because, bro, I'm trying to cash out, man. I'm trying to cash out, man. But hopefully
Say
y'all too.
that. Say that.
But like I said, man, peace, love. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace out. A-Town down.
Zebo, what's going on, bro?
Yo, 50 episodes in, man. I think I've been in there for like at least a little more than half of them. And I ain't gonna lie, man, it's been fun, man. And I just want to shout you guys out, man, because obviously, man, the hard work that y'all put in every day, man, for this is really inspiring and it's dope, man. So, man, to everybody, man, keep liking, man, keep subscribing, man, and we just gonna be we gonna keep putting out good content for y'all, man. This is all genuine. So, again, man, we just appreciate my guys for having me, man, for real.
Yes, sir, man. Ya tu sabe, Triple M in the building, like the guys mentioned, 50 episodes in. Uh, man, this season is coming down to end. 15 games left for the Knicks on this time of recording, so it's gonna get fun right now. It's gonna get statically playoffs coming up, so more good content coming out. So like my guys mentioned, man, just keep on supporting. Thank you for the support. And we're
Yo,
just gonna get up out of here, man. You already know the vibes.
hold up,
Triple
hold
M,
up.
Don Juan.
Before we sign out, man,
Oh yeah,
World Baseball Classic this weekend. Our guys gonna be in the
yes
building.
Oh
You already
yeah,
know,
sir.
representing. My boy Chris gonna be out there too, holding it down. You feel me?
yes,
So good luck,
sir.
best of luck to the DO squad, and let's keep it rolling, man. You know
Let's
our guys gonna
go.
be out there killing it
Ya
with the
tu
plátanos
sabes.
on hand. The fans gonna show out there in Miami, man. So it's gonna be a fun weekend too, man. It's gonna be
You know
Knicks,
I
but
keep the
it's gonna be
flag
a little
right
DO
next
too,
to
a
me.
little salami, little plátano in hand, little presidente, Brugal. Come on, man. It's
Yes,
gonna be lit
sir.
this weekend, man. Can't wait, man.
Nah,
That squad is bomba squad, ready
nah,
to hit
nah.
some homers. You feel me?
That squad is elite, man. Shout out to Rafael Devers, man. Let's go. Let's
Uh,
go.
Come
Let's
so you
on.
lucky,
go.
you lucky,
We gotta
you
end it. We gotta
Dominican.
and we
You
gotta
Let's
end it there
go.
on the Rafael Devers shout out, man. You already know the vibes,
fellas.
man. Episode 50. Shout out to y'all.